Yo, what's up? It's Brain Dead. I just wanted to do kind of just like a quick, I don't know, just let out some thoughts on Midjourney because it's kind of blowing my mind and it's just I'm addicted to it and yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about it, so I just wanted to lay out some thoughts on it. Um, for one, I think it's kind of quickly becoming one of the most valuable entities on the internet, and it's like like to the degree that uh, in investing, you want to find things that compound on themselves and like iterate and can constantly improve. And like each new thing that you build, you can build new things on top of that. This thing is kind of showing to be like pretty insane along those lines. And they just came out with a new feature called Describe that I'll show. Uh, Here's like a couple that I just did, but yeah, it's kind of blown my mind of what like the implications of this are, and it kind of has like almost like a feedback loop mechanism now built into it. So like here's a picture that I think is just insane and like just like awe-inspiring and like gorgeous, and that I would never be able to like create this on my own or even like have the imagination or thought to like generate it. But now with this AI tool, like some of these like the most like amazing images I've ever seen are reality, and yeah, it's incredible. So like for this one example, I'll show what the image it started at as it started at as was, um, which I got. You might kind of notice the style. It was Elon Musk had like commented on someone's Midjourney who and it went kind of viral, and so I kind of reused his prompt and just kind of like messed around with it a little bit, and then I got this one. So you can probably see like the resemblance of if you know which picture I'm talking about, but it has like a similar style, but with these like kind of like blocky terrain. But this looks a little bit more like a city than his was like a desert landscape, and the color scheme is different too. And but yeah, shout out to that guy. I should find his name. But whatever. And so I just been messing around with this describe feature where you basically upload a picture and then the AI tries to basically describe what the image is and gives you a prompt of um, basically of what the picture is. So it tries to like reverse engineer what the prompt would have been, which this is nothing like what the prompt was. Like 3D clouds in the city of an unknown dimension in the style of light red and teal, distorted perspective, cryptid core passage, dark foreboding landscapes, orderly symmetry, schizo wave, and aspect ratio 2 to 1. Um, and so this is the prompt I use to recreate now this image, which is I don't know, this is amazing to me. But and then this is another one I tried. It's just a screenshot from a Overwatch streamer, Defran, if you know him, but he's just like a pro gamer, just crazy at the game. But I was curious, I don't know, just to try that, and it wasn't that good of a reverse or description. I didn't think in one of these it knew it was Overwatch. Like here it knew the game was Overwatch. It was a scoreboard that it was showing. I was kind of curious if it would know that this streamer is the Fran, if somehow like that data is somehow in the model, but didn't seem like it. Down here, this was kind of weird. Just said like in the style of these like different artists, and like Joseph Kota was this guy, so it looks like a painting person, like kind of like I don't know painting very well, but like oily paintings. And then it also said in the style of this person, which I don't see the resemblance, but either way, that's what it generated. Um, so in this example, it wasn't able to, I guess, describe to me very accurately what it was seeing. It said like a screenshot of the Battle Arena game. I don't even think that's a game that exists, and it's not this game because this game is Overwatch. And I was also curious if it would like recognize that this was the Twitch stream because it has this like free loot thing, which is like a kind of a pop up on the actual like Twitch video, and has like this little icon, and like there's like certain information on this that would like indicate that this came from the Twitch stream. And then also like I was curious if it would like notice if it was a streamer because of this box of like um, the person playing the game. So it was able to pick up on some things I don't think it was that accurate with. But so I guess I'm curious to kind of see to the degree it progresses down this avenue of like being able to just like almost just like tell you anything that you're looking at. Like, could I just take a picture of like some random plant? I think, and then it tells me like what plant that is or some mushroom or something like that, and I can identify it. Um, like I know Google has something like Google Lens where it does stuff like that, so I would imagine like it is within the realm of possibility. But how advanced could that feature get? It's kind of curious to me. Like, could the utility of this tool go beyond just artwork and like almost just like content generation? Could also have like practical uses in like life of like almost like imagine like a world where you just have like some AR glasses on all the time, and then they can just like scan whatever you're looking at and just like feeds you data of like everything, every little thing that you see. Like, oh, this is this person, and it just labels everything for you, and you just kind of have like perfect knowledge of like, your environment and surroundings. Um, I don't know. I guess that's kind of getting out there, and who knows how far it can go in that dimension. But I guess I was slightly trying to test that aspect of the tool through this, but it wasn't very good, I don't think. But I guess the larger point I kind of want to hit on is um, like the feedback loop kind of implications that this describe feature has. Um, you can like generate an image, and then it almost, and then you can have it like describe it back to you, and then you can then get like new keywords of like, oh, I didn't know about this word, that you can incorporate into a prompt that like generates something awesome, or that you see like value in this in describing images with, or because like I noticed with using Midjourney, you're kind of like it's kind of like a exploration of like word space and like what words create awesome things, and then sometimes you'll hit on some word that like, whoa, that makes some crazy stuff. Like for example, when I like started putting mycelium, the word mycelium, into my prompts, like I really liked what it started doing. Maybe it'll be way back here, so it'd be hard to find. Oh, this is the guy's images, that, or like here's the original, the guy I kind of stole the prompt from. These aren't his images, but I think this was his prompt. So this is what the prompt I kind of stole was, and then I started kind of messing with it. And this was kind of more of the essence of what his image looked like. It was his was pretty incredible. I think it was better than these, but yeah. But back to kind of the feedback loop mechanism. Like you think about Tesla and how they have like their insurance company, and it's like the data that they get from like the fully self-driving and like all the data of like the accidents, and like their cars are just driving around the world and collecting data, and then they're able to feed that info right back into its like design team to make the cars like, oh, this part of the car seems to fail more often, so we'll make that more robust, and then they can then like feedback that information into their insurance company, and knowing like, oh, we have a lot of claims of this sort, so we should fix the design of our car uh, that have implications of the same, like, I guess, issue. And so like once your like information starts like looping on itself, you can just iterate like that much faster. So now this is almost like Midjourney has closed the loop on its like information I guess cycle, or like, so previously you would have to, I don't know, think of just go into your head and like use brain power and cognitive energy to like come up with something creative and then type it down, and then you get a picture and you kind of want to tweak it, and you have to think of some new words that will kind of like enhance it in the way that you wanted. But now you can just like have it describe, and then you can just like, oh, I like how it described that, and I'm gonna pull that word, and just that like cycle of like this image to the next one I do, to the next one I do, to the next one I do, it's just gonna be like that much faster. Maybe like a order of magnitude improvement on just like each cycle of image generation. And so then the total amount of content that's going to totally or be created will like be an order of magnitude greater. And then like the AI will just have not much more data to train on, because part of like Midjourney is like you go in and you rank how like aesthetically pleasing you see each image as, so it's almost being trained of what humans like to look at. um and so like I don't I don't know if the reactions in Discord train it, but basically on the Midjourney website you can go through and like basically rate all the images that people are making and saying basically if you like it or you don't like it. And then um, Midjourney will kind of like give you some credits if you do it enough to use in image generation. But all of that, everything kind of like benefits from this description mechanism being built in. Like I can just make more images that I will find awesome. Since I find more images that I find awesome, Midjourney will be able to have more images that people rate as awesome, and it's like almost like feedback mechanisms that for it to train on. And then yeah, just this whole, I don't know, the cycle for each iteration has been massively reduced, I think, and to the degree that something like compounds on itself and you can iterate and constantly improve. This is like a massive compounding, I guess, implication to this technology. And yeah, obviously this will apply to like OpenAI stuff too, and ChatGPT and Dolly. So it's not just implying something about purely about Midjourney, but for some reason Midjourney seems to be kind of taking over this image space more than Dolly is. Like, I mean, Dolly can do pretty similar stuff, but the first time I started using Midjourney, I like used Dolly like twice after that just to do like the Discord like themes of the day. But I basically stopped entirely using Dolly after my very first use of Midjourney. And so I don't know, this team is doing something slightly better, it seems, than OpenAI in terms of kind of like image generation. But then like how far can this go? Like eventually we'll have like music and video and combining those and movies and uh, just yeah, just content will probably get to a point where it just becomes like 99% just AI generated. Like I know people have like mentioned like to the degree that compute is done by human brains versus machines or like AI, like that kind of threshold will be is kind of important to watch. Is like what amount of total intelligence in the world is human intelligence. Like there will be a like flippening from when the most intelligence on the planet is concentrated in humans to when it starts being concentrated in machines. What is the flippening, I guess, from when uh like content is primarily AI generated rather than human generated. Like we might be like a year away, or like it might be like so close on the horizon that we can't even like. I mean, yeah, I guess like a lot of content, like you look at Netflix, that's all pretty much human made, and HBO, and so we have a lot of content within content space to go for AI to touch, but I don't know, it's moving pretty fast. Like the flippening seems to probably already have happened with just still images. I mean, you look on Twitter and like this Trump thing, like all the Trump images seem to be just be Midjourney pictures of like people being like Trump getting arrested or something like that. And like so now all our news stories are just kind of like relying on Midjourney to like generate its image, and it's kind of like clickbaity I don't know, just visual appeal. And so the flippenings like already occurred in a lot of little niche content avenues, but how long are we away from it being the absolute, like all forms of content are? And then we have music still to touch, and that's like pretty much just human generated right now. And so yeah, there's still a lot to go, but that amount to go could get swallowed really quickly, just AI just has to start getting applied to those things. But once it does get applied, like it might be a cycle of, or it might be a timeline of like less than a year from like when like the first like kind of like Midjourney equivalent for like music then takes over music, and now 90% of new music is just AI generated. I don't know, but uh, pretty interesting to me to think about. And yeah, I don't know. I'm addicted to this tool, and it's amazing to me. And here's some. I was trying to make a. I don't know if you guys saw that Balenciaga Harry Potter video. I was thinking about doing it to the Matrix, and then by doing that, I would learn some of like some other AI tools. Like the guy that made that like had a tutorial of how he did it. So I was gonna try to do the exact same thing, but just with Matrix. So I was trying to get some like goofy pictures of like Neo and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Midjourney is pretty amazing of a thing, and I'm curious if anyone's like kind of like looking at it as like an acquisition prospect. Because I mean, you can anything that its business model is like content dependent, like could benefit from this thing. Like think about Instagram or like Facebook. Like you just plug Midjourney into Instagram, and now you can just generate all your Instagram pictures just through the app. Like that seems like a pretty obvious, like kind of like um, synergy. So like, or Netflix eventually to like generate just movies just on demand, or Spotify just to generate songs. Like I bet this utility would, if someone doesn't acquire it, it'll start displacing and making irrelevant some pretty notable companies that is in ways that are probably hard to imagine right now. But if this just goes on its own to kind of like progress, then who knows? Maybe instead of subscribing to Spotify and Netflix and whatever other subscriptions we have out there, like YouTube and stuff, you just now just subscribe to Midjourney, and it's just all the domains of content just built into one, and it's like an endless generator of it, and it is like then catered exactly to you. Or and like yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. I almost want Midjourney just to be left alone, just to develop on its own and not get like as corporatized. Uh, and then I think I read like it's a team of 11 people or something like that. I mean, I don't think so, because you go into the Discord and I don't know. I guess this is the team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, but I don't know. Maybe some people in here are also, but either way, like it's not that many people. Like if it's 20 people or something like that, or these 8, that's crazy. And the amount of like productivity per human is like becoming exponential through AI. Um, I mean, 8 people were able to make this like business that, I mean, we don't have like specs on their like income or whatever, but just the technology on itself. Like if if OpenAI was valued at whatever they were, 20 billion, something like that, 15 billion, I forget. I mean, Midjourney has to be in that ballpark. It's probably some. If you had to like value Midjourney relative to OpenAI, OpenAI is probably got to be more valuable than Midjourney. Just more resources. Like they have the Chat GPT thing and the image stuff, and like I don't know, it's just a more expansive company. But uh, regardless of what this thing's exact value is, it's got to be in the billions. Like this thing has to be a unicorn. If you were to like go buy it today, and that was created by 8 people, so like 8 people generated whatever $1 billion of value, and then on top of that, it's making everyone else who uses it able to be like the most productive artist that's ever existed. It's kind of insane. The productivity per individual is, it's almost like a becoming a vertical wall. It's not even an exponential. It's just like boom, just vertical. And that, I mean, that's going to have implications on the economy to the degree the economy is just the machine that creates everything that we have, all the shit that we want and buy and consume, and just it's our production machine. Our production machine is for like digital content type stuff has just become basically infinite, and for all intents and purposes. And so in productivity per capita is, and in that domain has become vertical. And so now each little slice of the economy that AI starts getting to apply to will just also hit that same like vertical wall. And I don't know, the economy might be on the verge of literally taking motherfucking off. It's kind of crazy to think about. And it'll be in like select niches at first, because like, I mean, AI is going to be relevant to like kind of cognitive tasks rather than physical tasks. Like uh, you still have to like go shovel your driveway and, I don't know, lift bags of sand and stuff, but eventually, yeah, AI and robotics will be applied to the physical realm also. But as far as our digital economy and almost like knowledge and cognitive part of our economy, um, which I don't know what percent of the total economy that is, but whatever it is on the verge of like infinitely multiplying. It's insane. But and then so that's actually one of my biggest things I think about as a counter to the risk of like inflation and the kind of financial instability of the financial system is, I mean, yeah, we have inflation as a risk, and if the system stays the same, then that seems to have a fate of eventually just devaluing the dollar more and more to eventually nothing. Like, if the economy doesn't take off, I think that the fate of the US dollar is eventually going to be zero. Like, the timeline is hard to tell, but I guess just that seems to be the path it's on. But I mean, the reason why the dollar can buy less and less stuff is because the dollar is increasing in supply more than stuff is increasing in supply. But if our economy can now like almost like exponentially uh, up its production of stuff, now the US dollar, like whatever effects to the US dollar is like under, become like negligible. And uh, so literally AI might save the dollar, I guess, and just if the economy can grow an insane amount, just way more than we can like ever predict, then yeah, I feel like that's like a mechanism of the dollar staying strong that isn't really being mentioned, but that's what I think. But time will tell, I guess. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to get those thoughts out on Midjourney, and yeah, this tool is incredible. I'm gonna keep using it and learning it, and good job, Midjourney team. This is crazy. All right, that's the video. Peace.